All right, so today we're going to talk about a little bit of trig, dealing with some triangle application problems. So we're going to jump right into the problem. This one says to draw a triangle ABC with the side of BC as the base. The measure of angle A is 30 degrees. If a perpendicular is drawn from B to side AC, the height is 4 centimeters. What is the length of side AB? So we're finding the lengths of one of these sides. Typically, whenever you are finding the length of a triangle, you could either be talking about Pythagoras Theorem, or you're going to be doing a little bit dealing with sine, cosine, or tangent. So first, let's get this triangle drawn out so we can see what we are dealing with here. So it says to draw a triangle ABC with BC as the base. So I'm going to call this one A, this will be B, this will be C. So it wants BC to be the base. The measure of A is 30 degrees, so here goes A right over here, that is 30 degrees. It says a perpendicular is drawn from B going to side AC. So that's going to look something like that. So that's going to be a perpendicular. So that means these are going to be 90-degree angles here. Right. So that means we do have a 30, 60, 90 triangle going on over here. Since we were told this one's 80, we know this one's 90. Since it told us it's a perpendicular, a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So 180 minus 90 minus 30 gives us the 60 over here. And it says this perpendicular is drawn giving a height of 4 centimeters. So then the height of this triangle here is this one right over here. This is going to be 4. Remember, a right triangle, the base is where the 90-degree angle is. So the base is actually this one right here. So try and pretend or take this triangle and twist it the other way around. If this is the bottom of the triangle, then this right here is how tall it is. And it says that this one is 4 centimeters tall. So it wants to know what is the length of side AB. So we're trying to figure this one out. So we're trying to figure out the hypotenuse, how long that is. We cannot use Pythagoras Theorem here. That only works if you know 2 out of the 3 sides for the triangle. We are missing 2 sides, so we can't do that. But we can do a little bit of trig to figure out what we're going to be doing here. So I'm going to use the angle 30 as reference here. So if you're using the angle 30 as reference, remember the 2 sides that you then want to use along with that angle. For our particular triangle, it's going to be the height, because remember the 2 sides that we want to use needs to be made up of a piece of information we know, a piece of information we're solving for. We know the height. We know that the height is 4 centimeters. We need to solve for the hypotenuse. So in reference to angle 30, so angle 30 here, this 4 would be opposite angle 30. And then this x is where the diagonal is. Remember, the diagonal is always the hypotenuse. So when it comes to sine, cosine, tangent, right, hopefully you have heard of SOHCAHTOA, right? So references sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Ca is our cosine, that is adjacent over hypotenuse. TOA is tangent with opposite over adjacent is what that stands for. We need to figure out, are we using sine, cosine, or tangent based off of the 2 sides that we know and need to solve for. So in reference to 30, again, that 4 is the opposite, so we need one of these that has the opposite in it, so it can't be cosine. And then we need opposite, and then we also need to find the hypotenuse. So which one of these has opposite and hypotenuse? And that's going to be our sine. So that means we are finding sine of angle 30, since that is the angle that we're using. And sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is 4, hypotenuse is x, is what we're solving for. So this is the equation that we are going to solve for, and it's going to give us that missing side there. So we need to solve for x. So solving the equation skills here, we know that this 4 over x is a division. So we do the opposite and we multiply. On the right hand side, x cancels with x, dropping down the 4. On the left hand side, that gives us x sine 30. We're solving for x, so we need to get rid of the sine 30. That sine 30 is getting multiplied to the x. So again, we do the opposite and we divide as long as we divide both sides. Sine 30 cancels on the left, giving us x is equal to 4 over sine 30. There's a couple different things that you can do from here. You can plug and chug this into your calculator. If you have a scientific calculator, you can do 4 divided by sine 30, and it should give you the answer for this. You can also use a unit circle. If you're not allowed a calculator, if you use your unit circle, you will find out that sine is equal to 1/2. So if you do 4 divided by 1/2, you actually get 8. So if you want me to do that quick calculation, that is 4 divided by 1/2, or 4 times 2 over 1. Again, 4 times the 2, that gives us 8 over 1, which is just 8. That means the hypotenuse of this triangle here, x is equal to 8. And I believe this was in centimeters. So x is equal to 8 centimeters. Otherwise, that's it for this problem.